Maine has a long history of auto racing. Pretty much as soon as there were cars to drive, there were people eager to race them.
Now, one of Maine's best-known racers is rejuvenating and running one of our state's oldest tracks. And 207's Don Kerrigan even got to take a ride to see it for himself. Hey, Don, I'm glad you made it back.
Yes, I did. You'll get a kick out of this. Speedway 95 in Bangor, you've been there. It's been an institution in that city for more than 50 years. Now it's getting a facelift and new energy and rebranded as Speedway, sponsored by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. All of this happening because of its new owner, Ricky Craven, who is himself a Maine racing legend.
You've never been on a racetrack?
That's what Ricky Craven asked as we drove off in the pace car at Speedway, just after telling me to buckle up. He grew up just a few miles away from here and literally first raced on this track as a teenager.
You're not much different. We've built a whole new backstretch. We've widened the track on the backstretch.
Ricky Craven is a NASCAR and Winston Cup winner.
Ricky Craven's road for the past 45 years has been quite a journey.
My life has been 200 miles per hour. Don, I've been traveling at 200 miles an hour my entire life, including right now. I'm 60. I feel 30.
We sat beside his old Winston Cup race car,
Getting into turn one
that he drove on some of the biggest and fastest tracks in the country. Ricky began racing at about age 15, inspired by his father, who had also been a driver.
Unity Raceway.
Unity, okay.
And second race I entered, I won. It's a bit of divine intervention in that I knew early in my life what I wanted to do.
He started driving and racing full-time right out of high school, and for more than 20 years, never stopped, working his way up through all the levels of pro racing.
Look at how close this finish is.
Until NASCAR brought him to the very top.
I really care for people. That's a big part of what's going on here. I shake hands with as many people as I can every week.
NASCAR, he says, taught him to be ferocious behind the wheel, what Craven likes to call the bad wolf.
Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart. I can go on and on and on. They were bad wolves for about 4 hours every week.
And had to be, right?
And had to be, and I had to toughen up to survive.
To win at the very top, he needed to go very fast, and eventually
absolutely derailed my career.
And is that Ricky Craven?
Yes, it is.
He paid a price. Bad wrecks at Talladega and the next year in Texas.
I go up for my second run at Texas. I wake up in a helicopter with no vision, blood coming from my right ear.
That crash caused concussion injuries that stayed with him.
I sat at home watching NASCAR races with people in my car, with my team, with a headache so severe I had tears running down my face. And I only wanted to watch the race because how insecure I was. I didn't think I'd ever get to drive again.
And get up alongside of him. Half a mile.
Ricky did drive again and won 2 races, but admits he was never quite the same. At age 40, he retired and wondered, at a doctor's urging, now what?
By the grace of God, oh my God, it's crazy. Within weeks, Jack Obringer calls me. What are you doing? I said, I'm on my way, baby. I'm on my way. That's pretty impressive.
A top executive at ESPN hired Ricky Craven to be their racing analyst on TV. He did that for ESPN and later for Fox for 15 years, then retired again and came to Maine.
I don't remember being this happy at any point in the last 10 years.
And bought the old Speedway 95, staying here and working all winter instead of his home in North Carolina.
I hadn't spent a full winter here in 42 years. I did this past winter. Listen, it'll never happen again. I will never, ever do it again.
But so far, it's working. He says the first 2 weekends of racing have seen big crowds and lots of racers and sponsors.
Which was very encouraging because there was an appetite for this that was exponentially higher than I anticipated.
Which brings us back to that pace car.
You said you've never done this?
Hope my door's locked. No, I haven't done that.
Yeah, well, you're just along for the ride, buddy. Oh, we got somebody who can pass. Don, do you want to drive?
I better not. That's a ride. It sure was. On a 1/3 mile oval, even 70 feels fast.
Yeah, I told you earlier, I still love it. My God, I can't get it out of my system.
And deep down, we expect he doesn't want to.
I don't have anything to prove, but I miss it.
Ricky says he won't be racing here himself, but maybe he just might find a car and make a few laps, just for fun. I guarantee you, he says, I can go fast. Yeah, we got that proof. Thanks to New England Auto Racers for some of those old photos. And we did a long interview, a lot more about his career, his start, his injuries, all of that. You can watch the whole thing on our live stream, News Center Maine Plus. So good time.
Oh, I love it. We got to get the 207 crew out there on the track. It'd be great.
Great stuff. Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don.